Hola, it's me, Juniper Blue Mystique. Hello. How's it going? I am here today to talk about something important that's going on right now, important for the future, important for the ascension, and just some downright good old knowledge to have, no matter who you are or where you're at or what the hell's going on, right? Maybe we all need it. Anyways, that being said, hi to those that know me. What up, right? To those that don't know me, I am Juniper Blue Mystique. I am an Ascension Master, Master Healer, and Divine Guide. I am the one who brought about the Ascension. And what does that mean? Well, check out my Ascension playlist, probably in the list below the video, if you're curious to know. It includes activating pyramids, clearing Mount Shasta, to things with Jesus. There's a lot. So I encourage you to check that out, okay? But that's not what today's video is about. Today is about mental health, okay? But not just mental health. Mental health, how to gain power back of our mind space, our mental well-being. But it's important for the ascension going forward. Like, it's super important, okay? Just imagine, the world that we live in. I don't think you have to imagine too hard. It's quite obvious, it's quite in our face, how everything runs, right? We are taught to be dependent on the system in many ways. We're taught, and this, I'm talking about this in a mental health aspect, like medications, things like that, right? Hi, Gigi. Let me know if you can hear me okay. My mic was all pushed in when I started, and I'm like, well, what the hell? And I know I'm doing it live, so let me know what you think. But this was not the right notebook. Hang on a second. Un momento, por favor. I have notes because Spirit was like, do, and I'm like, okay, do. All right. Yay, thank you, you guys. Thank you for letting me know y'all can hear me okay. Yesterday, I know I was supposed to be on. I will tell you, I at first was like, I've got to finish my kids' chess set, which I did finish. I made it by hand with epoxy for the first time ever. And I really enjoyed it. And by golly, I love it. And I'm only going to get better. But after I canceled that live, something happened. My brother showed up, covered in blood, not a joke, knocked on my door, showed up a mess. He had rolled his car that morning. They released him out of the hospital, and he came here. So it was a good thing that I didn't do the live, so I really do apologize. Yeah, he's had one hell of a time. So this is actually my brother who was shot a year ago. If you guys remember that one? Talking about that one. And the leg that he really tore up this time was the same leg that he got shot. So it's a rough one, but I'm going to nurture him. I'll take care of him. I'm just glad that I was here for that. And I'm glad that I wasn't doing the videos. So everything happens for a reason, right? So thank you so much for the patience and for coming today instead. Whoop, whoop. I hope you all had a very marvelous New Year. I just did me, what I usually do. Not a huge party, but I had my own little soiree with my kids. And we drank apple cider. And we usually play video games, but this time I was doing epoxy, finishing my son's gift and just being creative. So that's what we did. A lot of fun for me and my chitlins. So today I'm going to dive deep. So I did a Facebook earlier, but I didn't really get all the details in it. So I talked about mental health a little bit, okay? Now I am coming at it as a mixture of a standpoint. So I do have a psychology background. I've worked in behavioral for many years, used my degree in psychology for many years, and then ended up in a crisis specialist role. So I'm very familiar with the aspect of mental health. but not just from a book standpoint, right? From being hands-on in it every day. And then my own awakening journey had me think, oh my gosh, like this is insane. Right? It's not every day you have this Kundalini awakening and then all of a sudden you think you're as powerful as God. That's an insane thing, right? Well, no, I'm not. So mental health has been very relevant in my life, okay? But this is from more of a standpoint, dominantly from the standpoint of a healer, okay? The healer that I am, the master healer that I am, not to mention the stuff I've had to heal myself through, and what I also know that is important for the ascension going forward. Okay, so it's something that's a challenge. It's going to be a challenge, I think, for probably every person on this planet coming into the next year, if not already, right? And it's not like a woo-woo. It's just truly about getting your power back, right? So the year ahead is all about getting your power back. It's also about sudden changes, right? Like maybe changes, shit, I didn't see that coming, like those kinds of things. And so when you have a year like that, mental health, physical health, and being in balance is very important. Okay, super duper duperly important. Okay, because just imagine, kind of like I said earlier, right? Just imagine like all the stuff that I've done is really real, which you know it is. But if you really take that into perspective and you think about, oh my God, all these things have really happened, and it is biblical, right? Like, it's hard to fathom the kind of changes that are going to come forward. And we are as strong as our weakest link. I talk about this a lot too, right? We are as strong as the weakest link in the collective whole, whether you know who that is or what that is or not, because we're all connected, right? We are all connected. And so if big events happen in the collective whole, or even on an individual level throughout the collective whole, we're affected. We're affected to a bigger degree than you are aware of, because that's what it means to be all connected, right? And so mental health is your key. How do we be mentally strong? How do we have strong mental health and strong capabilities? And how do some people make it seem so easy where others of us struggle? We all truly struggle. That's the truth, okay? Even the people who make it seem easy had struggles and trials and tribulations and things that they had to overcome to get there. And it doesn't mean that they don't have days of weakness or days where it's a struggle. Okay, even going through the stuff that I've gone through, learning all the tricks from Spirit, teaching me hands-on. Like these are massive things that people spend millions to know. Like it's not a joke, but it's not easy, right? These things aren't easy. Getting that kind of power back is not easy. And it takes time, it takes practice, it takes repetition. Okay, it truly, truly does. Right? Like you can't just connect to Spirit one day and maintain that connection for life is going to be strong no matter what you do. That's false. That's why they call it a practice. You practice meditation. We practice these kinds of things, okay? And we go to the doctor and we're like, oh, like fix this. Like I'm struggling. I'm having a crisis. I'm having mental health. And we always want somebody to save us, to help us, to fix this. That's the way we're taught. We're taught that somebody else knows us more. We're taught that, the books, the conformity is where all the answers lie. And yet so many people suffer every day. Like as a crisis specialist, one of the things that we know unequivocally so is that our system is quite broken, right? The way we are designed, the way things go is quite broken. So mental health has to be a focus. That is absolutely unequivocally a way for you to have your power back. Now, if you're in control mentally, can you have somebody have mind control over you? No. And that's what everybody says is going on with the collective whole, right? They've all been brainwashed. They've all been mind controlled. You've all been fed stuff that is just not a reality. This includes mental health, medical health, all of those things, right? It includes all of those things, unequivocally so. So, like, another thing about mental health is that it's not all mental, right? Like, our mental health is not all mental, because here's the thing about it is our thoughts trigger emotions, trigger feelings, trigger chaos within the environment, or they trigger power. Whatever we're thinking causes that chemical reaction, right? And I can go into mental disorders. I can talk about all those things too. It's all a chemical imbalance, right? Or some kind of imbalance within the system or within your genetic code. There's your key, right? It's all about an imbalance. And mentally speaking, it's more than just that, isn't it? So mental health, absolutely, unequivocally, in every way, also reflects emotional health, physical health, and well-being. That's why if you're like living a balanced diet, not eating, it's like what we put out in the world, what we do within our day. If it's balanced, I get physical movement. Does that mean I have to be a triathlon and buff and have my 8-pack? And no, whatever is physically good for you. Does that mean I should never push myself? No, we should. You know what I mean? Growth. But we have to be physically active. You have to be. It's a part of balance. It's a part of mental health. It's a part of physical health, emotional health. But here's where we go wrong. Here's where they teach us the wrong things. We're taught to mask things. Take a pill, right? It'll make you feel better. But it doesn't. It masks everything. It's a temporary fix, okay? And then it's almost like, the more of those pills or the things that we take for coping, there are coping mechanisms. The more that we do that, the more things pile up. We have all these emotions and things that are not getting healed. Trust me, I know. I was once diagnosed with PTSD. They called it severe PTSD, CPTSD, whatever you want to call it. It was from years of abuse. My ex-husband did kind of want me dead. That is the truth. He ended up not being a dad, lifelong restraining order that I didn't ask for. It was judge imposed. Messy story, right? And beyond that, years of abuse. And so I had a lot to deal with. I went to therapy myself. I am a therapist. I had all these things. So I had severe anxiety disorders, what they called it, severe PTSD, and then OCD. Why do we have OCD? Because we want to control something, right? And that's what we do in our head. We want to control our environment. We want to do these things. That's what we're taught to do. And then we're also taught to seek outside for help. And then take a pill. We're taught very little about what we eat. We're taught very little about how the body truly works. And it sucks. And that is a recipe for disaster going forward into this ascension, into the new earth. Even if you're spiritually connected, there's shit that's going to throw you off, okay? It just is. And you got to know what it is, how to filter it out, how to get right back on. It's that mental health and mental strength, okay? And so, I'm not sitting here as a doctor coming to you saying that I'm going to educate you on mental health diseases and issues or instabilities or whatever you labels. No, but I'm going to teach you how to get your power back and what it truly means to actually heal yourself and gain that power back. Now, you can look at everybody like Wayne Dyer and Deepak Chopra and everybody, if you listen to them, they totally talk about getting out of your head. It's something that I did that caused my awakening, which I did on my own. I didn't have anybody provide it for me. I just wanted to escape the pain. I wanted to escape the heartache. I watched my dad die for days. And that's when that was a straw that broke the camel's back, so to speak. It was on Valentine's Day. In 2019, I watched him die. And that's the straw. So I started going inward, okay? And all the therapists, everybody else tells you to do these things. They do talk about yoga. They talk about, meditation and things, but they don't really tell you shit, okay? And meditation seems so hard, right? Like it seems very 1444, very complicated sometimes. It's like, how do I get my brain to shut off? And we don't shut it off. We allow our brain to do what it needs to do. But the thing is you've spent, how old are you? For me, I'm in my 80s. No, I'm just kidding. I'm very, very dapper for 80s. Hi, Jacinth, you made it. Who are my VIPs? Y'all can have a message if you want. If you make it to the end of this or in the middle, I'll give you a message for being my VIPs. Just a card or a little message, just for fun. I don't remember where I was at. See, brain fart. Yeah, I don't remember what I was talking about. So I'll just skip that part. We'll move on, and I'm sure it'll come back. But like I was talking about, balance is an important key to it. If you're out of balance, we become unhealthy in some way, shape, or form. So if we focus so much, they don't teach you shit, right? But if we focus so much on our emotions, we become out of balance. If you allow your emotions to control you, to take over, and that's not easy, my friends, is it? Right? Like, you can get super easy. We can, what they call like blackout, right? You're completely just allowing your emotions to take over. But in truth, what you're doing is your conscious drops out of your head completely into your emotions, into your body, and it just, boom, you just run with it. No consequence in play. Right? Where other times you're in your head completely and you can't get out of it. And then you start getting paranoid. You start getting all these other things and all these disorders. And we think too far ahead. We think too far back. We don't think enough in the now. All of these are recipes for disaster. Any guru, any healer, any master, I don't know if that's where I left off, but they will talk about, getting out of your head. They will talk about getting in your body. And that is what I did, is I went and I started tuning within. Just naturally, I started tuning within. I wanted to stop the heartache. That's right. My dad died. I'm kind of going back to where I left off. And that's sparked the change in my life, okay? But that's also how we connect with spirit every day. That's how we calm our body. That's how we start to heal ourselves. We truly do. And that's how you're going to receive all the energies coming forward in the ascension that I've already brought down. Because, right, the spiritual law, if you want to call it, I don't like the word law. Law means that it has to work this way, it has to work that way. And the universe is more multiple than that. So be very careful. I don't like the law aspect when you say the law of the land or the spiritual law. But spiritually speaking, I did all this stuff to the earth over the last 3D years, right? So now physically, it's going to start boomeranging back around. That's how it works. Things we do energetically boomerangs into our physical. That's how manifestation works. So the less I think, the more I feel, and the more I gain control of what I feel, the more I come into the here and the now, and the more I allow those higher vibrational things to occur. And then I just kind of have random thoughts of beautiful things. And so they work together. You see what I'm saying? You feel me? Everything has to be in unison, but they play their part. They play their role. Not one thing overtakes another. So when I'm manifesting, when I'm tuning in, by the way, here's a positive note. I felt something very positive with my DM yesterday, and I don't want to get my hopes up or nothing. That's all I'm going to say. But that was that. So I'm happy-ish. But when you start to tune inward, you start to feel those good feelings. And we don't do them by thinking. We don't get those feelings by thinking ahead. You can have them by having a beautiful thought come in. Yes. But if I start thinking too much ahead in my future, things that haven't occurred yet, it throws me off. Absolutely. It just throws me off. So truly your key is to gain that control over your head, the mental health. You have to be able to stop those thoughts. Am I stopping the thoughts, or am I undoing the years of programming of how old are you, teaching my brain to go into this chaotic drive of what they create an anxiety world from? Like, this world is created to be anxiety filled. It's created to induce anxiety. It's created to induce fear. It's created to induce lower vibrational states. It's created to keep you detached from your body, because then you wouldn't know who you were. You wouldn't be able to take your power back, and you wouldn't be able to see clearly, because when we're in balance, mind, body, soul, spiritual self, we begin to see clearly. That fog begins to lift. Now, I do mean heart-centered balance, not mind-centered balance. Not a mind of logic where, oh my gosh, if I don't make this much money, like we're in trouble. Forget the money, okay? It can't be a money-focused drive. What do you mean, right? Because that's the way they designed this world, is if I don't make this much money, if I don't have this much stuff, if I don't, then who am I? I'm nothing. I'm not worth it. I got to do this. I got to do that, or we can't survive. Like, there's a whole aspect of that. And how does that feel? It feels like shit. Like, it's not a good feeling. Like, it really is. Do you like that stress? Do you like that stress? Like, I've got so many bills to pay, and I've got all these like, and we can't, like, if I don't work my ass off, we're not going to survive. And I don't feel good today, but if I don't go to work, we're not going to survive. And it's a horrible mind fuck. It really is. And that's the kind of power, that's the same kind of power I'm talking about. And this year going forward, 2023, my friends, is all about taking your power back. And there's going to be sudden changes that help us to do so, okay? But if we're not mentally strong, if we can't control those thoughts, if we can't learn to drop into our body, we can't see clearly, we can't connect with our inner light, our inner knowing, the higher selves, we can't. And if it's a fight for our soul, then we're in trouble. And I saw 2022 and 2122. And then yesterday I saw 222 and then 555, 5555. Very relevant there. Okay. This year ahead is going to be super powerful. If you haven't already known, but it can be positive, powerful, or it can be challenging. Right? The choice is yours. In life, we always have either lessons to learn or to rise above them, right? So as I was talking about, it's like manifesting is if we're in our head too long, we don't manifest. Manifesting comes from the emotions. Manifesting comes from our solar plexus. I talk about this quite often, okay? That's where it truly comes from, is your solar plexus. It comes from our energy. It comes 2222. It comes from our thoughts. It comes from a mixture of all of it, right? Because we can't never think. But our mind is almost the weakest link. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? We have to have control of that. We have to have mental health. Otherwise, we'll think too far ahead and you can muck it up. Our mind is where the negative gets in. Our mind is where things take over. And then our mind creates emotions we may not want to create. And then we've messed up our whole day of positivity, right? Or, okay, if we are as strong as our weakest link within the collective soul, which I've talked about before, because we are, and we're all connected, right? The group funk, the collective funk, the collective mushroom, the fungus among us, right? Like I've talked, I don't know if you guys heard me talk, because some of you remember this. It's also from one of my cards, the fungus among us. I mentioned this. We are as strong as our weakest link in the collective whole. So if we can't pull them up, they will absolutely, unequivocally, energetically bring us down. Okay, so how do we maintain that? How do we bring the weaker links up so that they don't take the collective energy down? Because if you haven't noticed those swings, you feel those big, huge swings, that's why. Okay? As a collective whole, we make the world go round. You see what I'm saying? Not necessarily. The world will continue without us. Like, it can spew us all off and the world's going to still keep going. I truly believe that. I know that wholeheartedly. But why do you think like the media had this power that we still couldn't quite put our finger on? Is because they used the power of the masses, or what I would call the asses, because they wouldn't pay attention to what they were doing. But the more you get the people to do something, the quicker it becomes a reality for the whole, right? Because we are all one. We are all connected, and there's way more power in that. And the churches use that for their benefit. That's what the people use for their benefit. Okay, so if I can create everybody to be afraid and think that this is something, hi, Amy D, then I can get them to go really quickly. Oh my gosh, I'm going to die. Poke my arm. Holy hell. But wait, let me think logically, because we didn't think about that when we went into fear, right? There's that balance aspect, because fear is so low. So most mental disorders are also based off low vibrations. Okay. And I do have a medical background, I do have a psychological background, and I am a master healer. And I'm coming at this from all aspects. Okay. And so if I sit here and tell you, hey, I got a really small but really large key to every one of your problems, you might go, really, what is it? And expect a pill. But that's how we're conditioned. Sorry, it's kind of funny. But in truth, my key is going to tell you, oh, no worries, my dude, it's your vibration. What? It's as simple as that? Yeah, but it's also as complicated as that. Because before my awakening, I never thought of things that way, right? We aren't taught to think of things that way. Yet in manifesting, they tell you match the vibration, and I would be like, well, what the hell does that mean? But I couldn't put it into words up here, but I could feel it in here, right? You know what I'm saying? So vibration is everything. Do you think I'm on, like, I worked crisis, my friends, like crisis specialist. So I've dealt with some things you probably don't even want to think about, right? Like people in the moment, literally actually actively taking their life, and I'm trying to save them or do what I can, or even the people contemplating these things. Like these are very dark thoughts. These are very having mental disorders, even helping them in the moment. And it's just not all about suicide. It's about many multiple struggles and issues that we've all dealt with, even just a little portion of at some point, right? Or like everything is vibrational based. Think about it. What is the vibration of the foods that you eat? What is the vibration of the things that you take in, the thoughts that you have, the things that you say throughout your day? What is the vibration of the body, your movements, your feelings? When you make love to somebody, what is the vibration? Do you end it going, holy hell, what just happened? That was beautiful. Can we do it again? Or do you end it going, God, I'm glad that's over. Why do I talk about that? That's not taboo. That's a part of our balance. Like if you're not having good love under the sheets, are you having love with your life? You know what I'm saying? Like there's a balance. And you can read your health. You can check your mental health by checking the temperature of your life and the things around you. Are they running hot? Are they running cold as hell? Are you trying to escape? I need something to cope. I need something to escape. That'll also tell you where your vibration is at. Unequivocally so. Healing is vibration. Lights are vibrational. Okay, and so we can look at it like the doctors say to do, and we can look at it like even therapists. Some of them will tell you about vibration. Some of them will tell you that that's part of health. Balance and vibration. It is. Jacinta's got it. She's one of my students as well. So is Amy H. And I'm soon to have another student, Sherry, who has joined my academy. I'm super excited. And with these courses coming up, you guys, I'm so excited. So the next course is this weekend. I don't know who's coming. It's going to be off the charts insane. 70 healing, 70 modalities I will be teaching coming forward, including bringing some new ones. So you guys don't want to miss these. Like you really don't. It's going to be amazing. And then I would also like to maybe do something with my graduates that I've already had coming forward as well. So let me know. I've said that before. But I just really want to bring the fun. Like I want to go all about it. Awesome. Okay. Sweet. So is that for the Akasha one? Because remember I got 2 courses. I got one this weekend, which I thought you already bought, Amy. So double check that. And then I also have the Akasha one coming the weekend after. So and these will be like 70 based. Sweet. Yeah. Okay, both. Sweet. Okay, I'm so excited. You guys are going to be awesome. So this one coming up is it's also ascension based. Okay. So whether you're joining it or not, it's going to be important for you to know. The elemental one. Yep. That's this weekend coming up. And it's going to be so much fun. Jacinth, you're also a VIP. So if you already get like a 35% discount right now. And if you need help, let me know. But yeah, so I would definitely use that code, okay? I think it's still at 35. Didn't I put it through January, you guys, my VIPs? Your discount? Yeah, use that up. Super exciting. I can't wait because we can't keep learning third D type modalities. Now the modalities might remain similar, like Akasha Records are always going to be Akasha Records, but maybe how we read them and tune into them and how complicated or simple it is, and maybe even, sorry, my camera needs an upgrade. Yo, thanks for the clarity, camera. I do, Amy D. I have a link to the Elemental course. Amy D, you're not my VIP, but you are very important. So if you need anything, let me know. Okay, so Sherry said the discount code didn't work for her when she tried it. I know Amy H has used it, right? I'll go in and double check what's wrong with it, Sherry, and I'll email you, okay, and let you know. But I will get a link. Hang on. Can you guys... Oh, shoot. Hang on. That's funny. Y'all don't even want to know. Give me just a second. I hope you can still see me because I went on my computer. I'm getting the link to the one this weekend. Now, in the link, I'm not sure it says the date and time, so I will let you guys know that. But we will be doing it 2 days. Both courses are 2 days, and they are through Zoom. You do not have to join me live in the Zoom because I call in your energy. What does that mean? That's still very powerful, so beware. Okay, I will tell you that right now. When I call in your energy, if you're at work or if you're driving, it can be hazardous. True story. You might want to ask these guys. So Amy H said she had to try the code twice, but it worked. So maybe try that. If it accidentally charged you full price, I will refund it. Don't worry about it. Here is the link to the course. See, Sherry says, very true story. She didn't make it to one of my live workshops before, but I call in your energy, and the work I do is very real. Okay. I can't move pyramids and not like heal everything inside your body. That would be silly, right? So if I can move mountains, trust me, I can move mountains. So I do these things and I really call in your energy. And she was driving. And then I was thinking, well, maybe I should put like a hazard warning, like don't be driving, kind of like don't operate heavy machinery when you're participating in my workshops. It might be a thing. Because even if you can't make the live, like, you know, something's happening. Okay. They are life-changing. That's what I tell people too who always do the healings with me, is they're not a one and done. No, you keep healing, you keep changing. It's like you can't take on Christ light and not keep moving right through it. It's okay. So Amy H. Sherry is saying she had to do it with exactly how it was. So no caps or lower cases. It has to match it exactly. So you could even like, I don't remember how it was. Try that. If that doesn't work, let me know. But I know I did like 3,000 of them, so they can't run out for a long time. Copy and paste, like Amy H said. Yeah, as long as, you can copy and paste the coupon code. But this weekend, so with the elementals, it's going to be big. So we're going to be doing it for the it's a weird workshop course. It's not just a workshop. It's not 3. It's not just a course, but it's also for the ascension. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to be, since I kind of took us to 7D, not even 5D, like, whoops, right? We were in a 3-dimensional world, 3rd-dimensional world. It's already like 5D energy based. Elementals, things like unicorns and fairies and goblins and different things, even Bigfoot is supposed to be, it's a dimensional thing, right? And so we weren't matching the dimensional frequencies. Now that we're rising into these higher dimensional frequencies, this weekend's course is going to change the DNA aspect of the earth, those who join me now, and for the collective whole, for when they're ready to receive them, because that'll be individual based at their own time, right? But I put it in the collective whole. So we will change the Earth's DNA code to match the 7D elemental frequencies. What that means is we may start seeing some things amongst our planet that we've never ever saw before. Not only that, I will teach us how to heal with them and how to heal others with them as well. Okay, so you can start really tune into them further through the new DNA activations. And who knows? I mean, it might change our whole world completely. Like, I don't know what we're going to see from it, right? Or what's going to come about. But I do know that it's been said that we're going to see all kinds of different creatures roaming this planet we've never seen before. So does this have an aspect to do with that? Yes. And how we tune into the fairy realm and unicorns and Bigfoot and all of it. It's going to be amazing. So I can't wait. So that's this weekend. It's a course workshop ascension thing. And then the following weekend is not necessarily ascension based, but it's because we're ascending also. But that's the Akasha Records course. So I'm so excited. So I will be tuning into spirit through the 7D base, through the quantum aspect of who I am. And I will be bringing through the Akasha Records course that way. But not only that, like I will be making it very personal. We will be healing you within them because they all come with meditations. So keep that in mind. The courses I do are not just me teaching you things. They're healing you into them, activating DNA, whatever I need to do. And so it's very cool. They're very interactive. They're very hands-on. And these will at least go over 2 days. If we don't get everything done in 2 days, I will extend it out a day. So it's all encompassing, okay? I'm going to heal you, teach you, and then you'll learn how to use them on other people. You won't necessarily get the practice within the course. That'll be on you, right? Take it further, go out and practice with it. But it's going to be fun, okay? So that's that. Let me make sure I talked about everything with a mental aspect for spirit before I give you guys some free messages. Okay. So how do we see clearly? That was one of the things I wrote down because spirit was like, talk about this and talk about this. I'm like, and then I had to cancel my last. Sorry. But how do we see clearly? In truth, you guys, how do we see clearly? Do we see clearly about thinking about our future? No, because then we have fear, we have angst, we have things that we haven't created yet, things that haven't happened. We're not right here, right now, okay? How do we think clearly? By thinking about our past? No, then we're bringing in memories, we're bringing in emotions from the past and things that we may not have healed from, and we block energy both ways, okay? The only way to truly see clearly is by standing still and not thinking. So that's why people meditate. That's what they call it, is meditation. Now, I will tell you how to gain that control back, okay? It's like you really, truly, the way that I did it, and it's not a one and done state. You spent years creating these habits mentally, creating the state of anxiety that we live in, that we were created in, conforming in many, many ways. It's going to take some time to undo it. It's like when you spend 9 months getting big in a pregnancy, it doesn't come off in one day. It doesn't. No matter how much we want to lose weight, we gain, no matter what reason we gain it for, it doesn't come off in one day. And we're like, damn it, right? Okay. There's frustration in that. But you just keep going. You keep going. And the best way to do it is using getting in the gap. Wayne Dyer does it. I did a version of it on my YouTube channel several times now because it's very powerful. Deepak Chopra talks about it. I connect with that one. Like, it's very, very powerful. And the more you do that, the more you get that mind control, the more you go into the here and the now. If you can actually get into the gap, which is where no thoughts can take over, you are literally within your body and the vibration rises because there's nothing there but peace, the here and the now. You start to match the vibration of the universal flow. Okay, then you can have feelings of love and gratitude, and it just keeps getting higher and higher. Then you match the vibration of the things you want to have that I already have them. There's manifesting right there. Okay, but that's also how you gain that mind control. And if it's hard, do it again. And even Deepak would talk about stories about his clients would come back a week later going, I can't stop my mind from going. I keep trying. Try again. Try again. Keep going. Do it again. Do it every half an hour. Sit down for 5 minutes and get in the gap. Getting in the gap is not what this video is about, but I'll briefly discuss it. Wayne Dyer does it with Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, because he connects to source. Okay, so that's why he uses that one. You can use whatever you want, just keep it positive. but it's taking the word, like our, gap, next word, and then go back into the gap. It's the space between the beats, like music. You can't have music without a gap, the space between. You can't heal the lower vibrational traits without breaking up that vibration. How do you do that? Get in that gap. Okay. All right. What else did they say? We need to be able to see clearly. Okay. Because in extreme states of emotion, fight or flight, we can't see clearly. We are seeing heightened senses, the ones for survival. Okay. And I see this all the time in the crisis world. It's like you get people on there and they're screaming at you, they're cussing at you, nothing's going to work, nothing I could tell them would help them. They're in the moment. They're in the crisis. Okay. And we are in fight or flight, and even in anxiety disorders, when you're activated, nothing else matters. I can't see clearly. I'm scared. Nothing makes sense. Right? Then I'm out to say, oh my God, do this. Okay, thank you for the help, without questioning what kind of help they're giving me. Because I can't think straight, right? Or I'm biting off the heads of people because I'm in an angered state, which I don't even really know why, because I'm in a heightened state. My mind is not mentally healthy, and I can't see what I'm doing. That's the thing. It's not like people are intentionally doing that, right? They get in that heightened state. Their fight or flight is active. And people will just be like, well, stop. Can't you just stop feeling that way? Why don't you just stop saying you're going to kill yourself? Like, you know, I mean, people will do that. And then the person who's actually suffering and who can't get out of those thoughts is like, great, now I really want to go kill myself. Because nobody gets it. Like, I feel so alone, and it's really hard. Those emotions, like Twitch, DJ Twitch. Let's use him as an example, because I channeled about him, didn't I? And he really did kill himself. And it was because he was in the moment. The lower vibrational things get in. They get in our head. It's fear-based. It's where the emotion is so strong, you want to escape it so bad, and you can't see that out. We can't get to that out. Like, holy shit, I can't get to that out. I got to end it all. I don't see a way out. And that is what he said, isn't it? He couldn't clearly see that way out. And so we don't want those moments more than we have to have them. How do we avoid those moments? How do we find that out? How do we see it clearly when all we've known is pain and sorrow and fear and these things that have been shoved down our throats? And it's the society we have created. Conform, 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 conform. And then judge, judge, judge. And then most people are like, I'm screwed. Our weakest links, our suffering. How do we pull them through? How do we pull us all through this ascension? We have to become mentally strong. We have to be able to see clearly. If we can't see clearly, we're hurting our weakest link, and then our weakest link hurts us, because we are only as strong as our collective soul link at the weakest point. Yet people are so desperate, and they're suffering, and they're in so much pain. They're calling a crisis line in hopes that this person or this therapist can solve everything for them. But we're so broken in the fact that everything you need is actually within. And if I can't get you to tune within, we're both screwed. There's nothing that can be done in that moment except for crisis control. Mental health. Mental health is a power that was taken away from our collective soul. Pay attention. Look around. Look at Twitch. It's all right there. We're afraid. Where was the DM on Christmas? Afraid, maybe, right? As we get in our head, we don't follow our feelings. Yeah, Juju says, I see this in my environment. Exactly. Okay. It's important. And you know how many people would call me on that, going, something big's coming, we're all in trouble, we're doomed. Like, you think people don't feel the energies, even if they're not connected, my friends? Even 4444, even the people who don't seem to be connected, who don't see it, they're still in the vid zone, right? Like, there's people who are just not awake. They still feel it. And that vibration that we are all housing affects them all. And maybe they can't wake up because we're not mentally strong. Right? That's when fear and doubt and the darkness takes over. Because we don't have mental strength. I don't have mental strength to be in that balance. Is this in my head or my body? Let me step back and tune in. Do I know what that means? Can I tell I'm getting into an anxiety point? Why am I getting into anxiety? Because I'm in my head. I forgot to check in down below. And then how do we heal further? We take that feeling we're feeling in our body and we do stuff with it. Okay? It's great stuff, right? So to be healthy, the full gamut of health is mental balance, physical balance, mental strength, physical strength, spiritual strength, and balance. How do you have that? Gain the knowledge you need to gain, ask the questions you need to ask, focus inward more than up. Well, we need a logical sense. Yes, we do. We also need to be able to feel our emotions and our body. And our brain is used maybe 25%, where our body is more like 85%. Okay. Yeah, it's right. Like it's intense. I'm telling you. And Amy D, I've had those moments too where I'm just like, oh Lord, let him see it. Oh Lord, let him see it. Okay. But how do we make sure others can see it? By not worrying about what they think of us and still doing what's in us to do. Okay. We have to have mental health, physical health, emotional health, spiritual health. If we are out of balance in any of those, that means, do I sit here in my head all day? No, I go into my body most of the time. And then I use my head for logic when it's needed. Right? And when you do that, that's when you can control your thoughts. That's when you can control your dreams better. Like you can have cleaner dreams and less dreams, and then ones that are more valid when needed. And it's clear. It's clear. Okay? The healthy body and mind is when we are in balance and we have control of that mind. How do we get that? Get in the gap. Keep going inward. Keep going in your body. Rather than masking things, you're going to have to feel them. Because once you feel those things and you allow them to be expressed and excreted and healed, then you're more sensitive. We want sensitivity. We need more empaths in the world. We used to laugh at him, not me. Some people used to laugh at empaths, going, oh, they're so sensitive. Yes, thank the Lord, it's what we need. They would teach you, don't cry, toughen up. Why would they do that? Because we need the sensitivity to feel the things around us. Vibrations function in emotions, not in our head. That's why they manipulate your head with vibrations. Let's give you some binaural beats, which I create, right, in order to change the vibrational state of your mind. Is it making sense now, my friends? Right? But you can't tell somebody who's in crisis or in a heightened mental state that, hey, it's as simple as getting out of your head. They might shoot your ass dead because you're not getting it because they're suffering, right? It's a lot of pain and they want to escape. They want to escape. They don't go inside. They're thinking too far ahead. They're thinking about other things. Or they lack the ability to feel emotions at all. Okay. Our emotions have to be in balance with our mind or our mind gets sick. Our mind has to be in balance with our emotions, or our emotions become uncontrollable. And then we do things like domestic violence. We act out. We scream at each other to be heard, and nothing's ever getting done. And then da-da-da-da-da. And then you get emotional manipulation, and all of these things come in because it stems from not feeling what we need to feel and having control of that mind. It's all right there. Okay? And is it easy? No. It's much easier to conform and to go into the rat race and just to sit in that cycle, because that's what we're trying to break free from in the collective soul. But there's still a big chunk of that collective soul going, well, this is what's working. And you can see them like, almost like mindless zombies circling around within the arena. Just doing what they're supposed to do day in and day out, and none of it has anything to do with connecting to the earth, the mind, the body, or the soul. I'm just trying to make you money so I can survive. I'm glad it's time to break free. Also, too, you guys, is when that you are in that activated state, fear takes over, doubt takes over, confusion, and self-sabotage. So that's the final thing I really want to hit on, is self-sabotage and how it plays into mental health, okay? Mental health and self-sabotage do work hand in hand. And if we don't have the mental strength that we truly need, then we don't see where we self-sabotage, because we do it subconsciously. So when you start gaining more of that mental health, and you can start to look at those patternings, because everything is cyclic. Okay, it's a cycle. And even myself, right? Self-sabotage, we all do it. We all do it in some way, shape, or form. Why do we do that? Usually our self-esteem. Okay, damaged on judgments from others, judgments of self. Right? Those are the biggest stems of self-sabotage: fear, lower vibrational things, and none of them are of the light. Okay? I love it. So cool, so cool. All right, so I think I've talked for an hour. I think we're all good. Do you guys have any questions on what I talked about today and on the importance of it, and how self-sabotage, when we are not in balance, wreaks havoc? Okay? And the moment you start to improve, self-sabotage takes over. Self-sabotage has like a mind of its own, it seems like, right? It truly does. Like, what the hell? What the hell? How do you do it? Do you even know you do it, right? It sneaks up and bites you. Then you're like, I was on the brink of that promotion, right? Those are the nights you go out and drink all night and you're late to your thing or something. I don't drink, but you know what I mean? Like, I truly don't drink. That wouldn't be me. You know what I mean? Like, it's self-sabotage. We all do it in some way, shape, or form. Like, oh, they say do this, then all of a sudden you have the thought, well, I just want to smoke one. Or I just need this. You know, I'm tired. Don't do it. Keep going. But that's mental strength. And it takes time today to get that kind of strength back, to get that kind of power back, because it's been taken away in so many ways, you guys. And as we go forward, you're going to see how much of our power was manipulated, sucked dry, and taken away. Like, holy hell. It really was. Okay. All right. So I think I had one VIP that I want to message. Was that Amy H? I think he'll go first. Okay, so we have a question. Woo, woo! What are some tools to help us with self-sabotage? Absolutely. One of the biggest things with self-sabotage is I want you to slow down, okay? We have to slow down. Well, you're so welcome to sing. I need them too. But we have to slow down, because when we're in the moments and when we're going and we're not, and we get out of balance a little bit too, because if we're not taking the time to feel things and think things through, do both, right? Sit with everything, feel it through, think it through if we can, if we have the time. Take a step back and think things through a little bit. Now, do I mean to sit there and have it in your head? No. Okay, I see you. Think it through means like allow yourself to marinate it through the processes, ask questions, right? Spirit, how do I feel about this? What should I do about this? Those kinds of things. If it's something that's challenging and you're like, it's like rewarding and you're about to like step up, and then all of a sudden you get like those thoughts against it, you know what I mean? Patterning, look for patterning. Just like I talked about when we did the shadow work, okay? Look for patterning. Patterning within things, like I use relationships a lot because they're really great examples. It's we do it within them. We say we're going to do things, but we don't take the actions to do them. Kind of the same thing. That's also self-sabotage. Like the meaning is there, I want to do it, and then I don't. That's also a form of self-sabotage. Like I wanted to sleep in today and I shouldn't have, or I was going to get that promotion at work, and then all of a sudden I just felt like I needed to do this. It's the moments before something big is going to occur. Look for those moments to take you out of it. Okay, that's self-sabotage. Look for the negative thought patterns. Like you're doing so great, and then all of a sudden you go into a space of, oh, I can't do that. Or you'll get somebody hearing in your head, like, you're going to lose. Right? Those are the moments of self-sabotage trying to come up. Absolutely. Okay, so it's kind of situational, right, Gigi? But the best tools to help with self-sabotage is to take a step back and look for the moments of growth, right? Like, oh, I'm really struggling with this one. I'm going to push it through. And it will sneak up and you won't notice it, but it'll be like a feeling against what you're doing, if that makes sense. Okay. Like, oh, I'm doing good. And then all of a sudden somebody will get in your head and put a negative seed in it. It's like almost like an implantation of a negative vibration. And that's how it will present itself in your environment. Does that make sense? And since it can change against moment to moment, different situation to different situation, it's kind of hard to give examples. But like all of a sudden I'm doing good at something, and then all of a sudden I just get the thought to change. Why would that happen? You're about to get that raise. You're about to do something good. Now, if it wasn't good to begin with, maybe that. But usually those are self-sabotaging moments. I got this interview tomorrow, but I'm just going to give in and I'm going to party all night. Because that thought popped in, or that person popped in, right? Or like when I was about to do the moon meditation one, like I didn't know it was coming yet, but I had somebody pop into my environment that I wasn't getting along with, and it changed my vibration and it didn't feel so good. And like this argument almost started to ensue, and I like totally blocked. I'm like, nope, this is a distraction. This is trying to stop me. And if I would have played into it, those are the moments of like self-sabotage. It absolutely has to do with the shadow. Okay. Think about it that way. It has to do with lower vibrations, darkness, absence of light. So anything that's going to take you out of something positive is self-sabotaging moments. And they just come up, and then we all of a sudden act on them because they trigger an emotion that we don't want to feel. Okay? I hope that makes sense. That was a lot. Try to describe it the best way I possibly could. I love the question, though. Thank you, Gigi. So just slow down in the moment, right? Think things through. Take your time with decisions and make sure that you're not falling into anything lower vibrational with it. So if you know something good is coming, beware of something negative try to sway you. That's self-sabotage. And we fall into them because they'll hit on our emotions to where either I'm not worthy emotions. That's a big one. Like you'll get that like almost like devil, an angel on your shoulder, and you're not worthy, you're not going to do it. And then we're like, fuck it, I'm not going to make it. And we give up right at the last second. Or it's never going to come through, or you know what I mean? Like I have this hot day and I'm all excited, and last minute I'm like, ooh, I'm ugly. I ain't going to go. And then we shut the door on it. Maybe bad examples, but hopefully you get the gist. All right. So I think Amy H was first. And I think, right? Do I have that right? Let me know. Would love a message if you do have time later, she said. All right, I was right. Woo, woo. Okay, so Amy H, yes. Okay. And Dan after dance. We have. Yeah, screw it. I don't care about a pecking order. Amy H, you're up. You red-eye, Fred-eye? I gotta go to a different deck. Hold up. There it is. I got like 4 different songs in my head right now, which is really weird, and none of them are cohesive. Let's turn that stereo off. All right. Okay, Amy. So I'm not sure how they want me to. So, okay. So I feel like your journey is like the finish line is not as far away as you think. And there will be a couple speed bumps. Just make sure you step over them. Make sure you step over the speed bumps rather than allow them to trip you up. But they should be very easy to see, very easy to step over. I see like 3 speed bumps before you reach the finish line. Oh, talking mushroom. Hold on. The transition in your energy. Sorry about that. So I'm drawn to your heart and your throat. I feel like okay. So what I'm hearing is you're processing through the emotions. Okay. So that's what they are. It's almost like I seen something or I feel something that makes me think I said the wrong thing, makes me think maybe sometimes I did the wrong thing, like something got me, something was like, ugh! You know what I mean? I feel like it was almost like I was a blow, like it made me question my words, made me question my thoughts and my processing kind of a thing. But what I'm hearing is that you're just processing. So it's like I'm healing it. When we do that, we process all the emotions. And so I feel like you're just almost like what you're feeling and processing really has nothing to do with now, if that makes sense. It seems like it does, but it's not. It's actually, oh, thank you. Sherry, and then just send it next. Okay. You know, do you feel what I'm saying? So it's like I feel like it's something now, like maybe I made the wrong decision. It's not that. This is processing something from before. So the emotions don't match the environment, but it would make you question your environment and your actions now. I hope that makes sense. It's a little complicated. That's a good question, Gigi. I will tune into that one. Just own your truth. Remember your truth. Remember the now. So it's really important for you, too, to work on the here and the now. So here's, Amy, what I'm seeing is like a tool for you to use to work on the here and the now. And so this will also help you with grounding. And so it's like getting out of your head. In the moments where you're having a really hard time, because what you're going through is a processing phase where you're going to be purging a lot of emotions, okay? And it's also like a death. When you're going through these changes, it feels like a death and you're purging it as such, okay? So it can be painful. It can be hard to deal with. It can be a lot at once and you can feel yucky. And so when we do that, we want to escape. We get ungrounded. And so what I'm seeing is to imagine like a yellow line on the ground. You can do this anywhere. And for some reason, it's bright yellow. I don't know why. I don't know the reasoning behind the yellow. Yes, exactly. But you have 3 speed bumps in total before the finish line. I don't know what number this is. They don't want to tell me that. We can't know too much. But there's like this yellow line. I want you to imagine a yellow line, and I want you tight roping that line because you're getting out of your head. You're putting connection between your body and your mind, like I talked about, right? Right, you see what I'm saying? And so you just make yourself walk that straight line the best that you can. Heel, toe, walk in the line. That will help you stay grounded, and then it'll bring you back into the here and the now. But it takes us into a place where those emotions can go poof because we're not stuck on them. you totally took your focus to this line on the ground. And it has to do with the ground. Does that make sense? So that's a tool that Spirit is putting forth for you specifically. And if anybody else resonates with that, do it up, right? We have tons of tools in our pocket that we use throughout time, 444, for when they need, because sometimes they work. Sometimes we may need something else. You're so welcome. So let me see what the cards say. And just so anybody wants to know, my VIPs are my monthly members. They have a monthly healing with me every month. And they also receive, which today was Monday, and I think I forgot. Everything going on, the car accident. Sorry about that. I need to get my emails out. But they receive also special email newsletters specifically for my VIPs, where I tune into other messages for them too. And so they are truly my VIPs. And every now and then I'll throw out a free message just in case. If you want to join the monthly membership, it's awesome. And it has every bit to do with ascension healings every month. Or even just like rejuvenation healing. Nope, I lie. Everything has to do with the ascension with me usually. So just buckle up for that. I can't help that. Even when we do little healings, you are ascending. All right. Amy H, quick card. Now, the speed bumps is just what those represent, Amy, and this is what they want me to talk about right now, is they represent truly you taking your power back and the growth that it needs for you to complete the task. Okay, that's all they are. They're not there to stop you. They're there to help you just take your power back in those moments. So slow down with them. Look at the challenge and look at the way you might have handled it at one time and handle it in strength and from the heart this time. Does that make sense? It's a very important part of the message. Is those speed bumps, and each one, take your time with it and analyze where you can come at it from a heart-centered place where you may not have done before. Because then you will take your power back. You will take your power back, okay? And you will eliminate the speed bump in itself. So it's almost like I need to gain my power back to learn that lesson so that I can move on. Okay? All right. Yep. And then the cards, I can't reiterate this enough. Battle and fear. Okay? And that goes with exactly what I talked about. There's no fear. It's truly just a way to say, oh, where can I come at this from being heart-centered? Where I wouldn't have done that before. And then it's complete calm and the battle is gone. Okay, and there are 3 of those speed bumps, but don't have the fear. It can be truly handled with stepping back and taking a look at it and like, oh, this is how I would react before, in fear. I would let them get me with fear. I would come at it with fear. I would let fear stop me. Well, maybe this time I'm going to come at it from heart-centeredness, positive words, and I'm going to step forward. And I'm going to do it anyways. Okay? You have 3 of those challenges. I don't know if this is number 1 or 2, but it's definitely not 3. Okay? So yeah, that's basically what I just told her is like, take that step back. You have to come at it from a heart-centered place. Once you do that, those speed bumps are gone. But it's also different than you did it before. So don't react or respond, but just enter basically spot on with what I'm sharing. So, but just don't, you know what I mean? Like don't react the way you would before. It has to be heart-centered. Okay? Truly heart-centered. And that can be a lot because it's new. It's different because especially ever since Jesus and Magdalene were united on Christmas, I can't do anything that's not heart-centered at all. Especially since my DM didn't come. I'm like right back to where I was the first time the DM didn't show up. Like everything has to be completely heart-centered, spiritual-based, and I can't deviate. Okay? It's a big deal going forward because let's just say for the real, like it is God's earth. All this really did happen. Now the earth is filled with all this Christ light. That's how we have to live. It's heart-centered. And if you take it all the way back to Egyptian times, they would talk about the same things, right? But they were kind of convoluted. I don't know what the hell was up with that. Because if you think sacrifices are godly, think again. But they would even talk about our hearts being judged as heart-centered. Everything had to be heart-centered. So they were well aware. Okay. So that was Amy's. And then Gigi asked, you had a question. Can your past self be a guide for you in this now time? So I would have to actually say yes and no to that, Gigi. The way that it can is our past lives. We can absolutely call on them. We can call on the knowledge from them. But like not a version of ourselves can come in and interrupt this lifetime. If you mean that, that would be our higher self. But that's in the present moment in time, right? So it is kind of like an avatar-ish kind of thing, right? We have a higher self. That would be kind of what that's like. But so past self can be a guide because we can tune into our past lives. And we can use them for the purpose of spiritual growth or healing that karmic past. Because remember when I talked about contracts and things that needed to move forward and the karma we needed to clear, that's all past life related. Okay, so in that aspect, absolutely is a guide for in this now time. Okay, and we have to heal it, we have to clear it. But a lot of people get stuck on past lives and they're like, oh, and I don't know why they do that. And they want to learn all about all their past lives, but that's a waste of time because it's not in the here and now. But your past self cannot come forward and interfere now because it's here. Does that make sense? I hope it does. Good question. I'll lock it a lot. All right. So then we had Sherry and then Jacinthe and then Gigi, right? Whoop, whoop. Can I get a whoop, whoop? Can I get a what? I don't know all that song. And now it's in my head. All right. Okay, sweet. So let me see if Sherry is ready for a message, then Jacinthe, and then Gigi. Sherry is getting one from our loved ones, so she is ready. Our loved ones have something to say to you. Sweet. All right. Sherry, Jacinthe, and Gigi, and you all commented on the opposite. Gigi, Jacinthe, and Jerry. That's awesome. Okay. Sherry, who is Tom? Why did I hear Tom? What's up with Tom? As soon as I went in your energy, I literally heard a guy's voice, and it said, Tom. I don't know. Let's see what the cards have to say. So your theme, Sherry, for this year is expansion. Totally expansion. You're going to be expanding in many ways. Turquoise is an important thing for you right now. Tom. Put it in your pocket. I don't know who this is. I keep hearing a Tom. Or what it is, or what that means, or an author maybe. I have no idea. Anyways, Tom. It's not, it's just a name I hear, and it has something to do with the mail. I don't know. All right. That's not what happens when I channel spirit. I usually get really clear stuff. So that's just something to stick in your pocket until it plays out in your environment. All right. So you're coming into a series of puzzle pieces. Okay, it's going to be a series of puzzle pieces. So it's not all going to have a complete answer until the end. So this next year or so is not that long necessarily, but it's going to be some time. You're going to be given a series of puzzle pieces. So it's like a download information challenge, download information challenge, but no, it's not. There's an important part of this message. It's not going to all make sense until it's all done. That is a challenge for you because you're not going to feel comfortable within that. You're going to want answers. You're going to want it to make sense, but they're saying just keep going. It will make sense in the end. Okay? When will the end come? That's not for us to know. Just keep going. It's like putting all the puzzle pieces together with every task you complete, spiritually speaking. And then eventually it all makes sense when we put it all together. Okay, but the challenge for you coming forward is to be in the here and the now, not to think for too far forward. And if you don't get answers yet, that's okay. You're not meant to have them yet. Okay, so you want me to do this way and that way. All right. Okay. So that's what I'm talking about with this one. There's something not being seen. Okay, but this is not necessarily reflecting your shadow self needing healing. This is reflecting the fact that you're not going to have all the answers, but you're not meant to. This, and so it now is, thank you. The message is there is magic in you. Okay, there is magic in you. So if you've questioned that, don't. But this also has to do with the puzzle pieces that will be coming forward. It's like you will be giving piece by piece by piece. So let's just say, because we know you're in my academy and we know you're going to be already learning the Akasha Records, right? That was what Spirit told me from day one that you signed up to my one-on-one academy, is that I have to teach you Akasha Records. I didn't tell you all of that, but that's what they told me. That's why I was like, I got something. I know we're teaching them. That's just one piece of it. That's the part of this message, okay? So you're going to get a series of puzzles. There is magic in you means don't simplify it down to, oh, I can just do Akasha Records. That's just one piece of the puzzle, okay? So they want you to kind of widen that variety. There is things not being seen. So you may get, hey, I can do this today. I know I can do mediumship. Okay, that's two pieces to the puzzle. But that is not the complete puzzle. Okay? And then we've got change directions now. So change directions now. There's magic in you. There's something not being seen. Okay? So pay attention. Don't make decisions that don't reflect on the magic in you, basically. Like you need to change directions now. Okay? So you've got to be heart-centered. I'm also hearing that. Okay, you've got to be heart-centered. And remember that there's more. You're only getting little pieces to the entire puzzle. Okay? But this change directions now is very interesting to me. Pay attention to where you're not heart-centered, because that will need to change. Okay? But it's more just like a warning sign. Make sure you're staying heart-centered, okay? And then back away from anything that's not. And again, there's magic in you, but there's way more than you would think. So in the end, it'll be like, oh, whoa, I would have never seen that coming. But you got to put it all together. So if I don't get this piece and I don't get that piece and I miss this piece, it won't all fit. Okay? So that's the most important pieces, especially for this year ahead. And I'm going to tell you right now, like I said earlier, is like if you're going through my alchemy thing, it's a real journey. It's not like you take a course and then it's what you implement out of it. Like it's life changing. So you might be changing complete courses just because of that. And that's okay. Just remember there's something not being seen. Gather all the puzzle pieces, and we never know when we have them all. So don't try to force the answers. Don't try to force the conclusions. Some of the most beautiful aspects of spirituality and things is that we don't have all the answers. That's one of my favorite things about being who I am, is that I didn't know when I was going to activate pyramids. I had no clue they were coming. Just like Jesus and Mary Magdalene, I didn't realize, which by the way, I'm wondering now who I am, right? Because my twin flame and I were supposed to light these when we came together. There was an issue, and I still united Mary Magdalene and Jesus. Like that's just so crazy, right? I think it's just craziness. And I had no idea that was coming. I had no idea that was coming. I had no idea that shit was coming. They put a video out on the 14th for my DM to come, and I got all giddy and my cheeks started turning red. I'm like, oh gosh, like I would never tell him to come. I'm like, oh, and then he didn't show. But I never thought it was for Christmas. I never thought that we had a deadline. They don't tell us all of those things. And then when they would come through, I'm like, psh, and it could have been one of the most beautiful moments, but the DM dropped the balls. Pun intended, kind of not. Sorry, it wasn't as funny as I had hoped, but it was at the same time. That's what I mean. Sometimes not having all the answers creates space for the most miraculous, most beautiful endings. If you're willing to just step in by not having the answers. Mental strength, not fear. That was beautiful. Okay. All right. Then we had Descent, and then we have Gigi. Descent, I am going to Disadeka for you. Disadeka for you. Again, my kids laugh at me so much. They're like, Mom, sometimes like you're this, sometimes you're British, sometimes you're Australian, sometimes you're I'm like, I know. It's so funny because I grew up all over Colorado. Got multiple personalities. I'm just kidding. I wish then I could escape all the other stuff. All right. Then we have Jacinta. Are you ready? Ooh, I'm already getting some coming out for you. Okay, so Jacinta, right away I'm seeing stagnation is ending. Stagnation is ending, and you're going to be forced to end it if you're not going to, right? So I feel like the stagnation has to end. It was relevant for a time, and I feel like you're feeling that. It's almost like an internal conflict of what's going on. I'm feeling unsettled. I'm just feeling unsettled, like I'm missing something, and that's why. I don't even know. Oh, she's ready. Now I hear ready. Did you hear everything I just said? I sure hopeth this so. Okay, so. Yeah. Okay. So stagnation is ending, and you're feeling it. Okay. But it's on you. So it's not going to happen for you. You have to make it happen. So that's the thing the Spirit is telling me, Jacinta, is they're going to give you nudges, but you have to take the steps to do them. You have to implement them. Just they can't make you, right? And so it's like taking that image we see in our head and creating it into a reality in our environment with it, no matter what is happening around us that says we can't, we shouldn't, you won't, you blah, 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 and we still do it. So make a distance. I'm feeling there's another card or two, so hang on. You see not coming to. That one did. And then hidden truths. So there's hidden truths. There's things you're not being honest with yourself about. And that's what they're telling me. So if you look deep within your heart, okay? Really, truly look deep within your heart. And it's not about what's in your head. It's about what's in your heart when you ask about what it truly is that would make you happy. What truly is it that you would feel complete in doing? What truly is it? And I don't want you in your head, okay? The moment you feel it in your heart, don't get in your head and go, yeah, that's a joke. Or that's never going to happen. Because then guess what you just created? And that's your heart's desire. So don't do that, okay? Here's what we got. So I told you you're being forced out of stagnation. Yep, you're being forced. And they're going to tell you, like they're going to give you nudges of things to do. Now you can either act on them or not. The choice is yours. If you don't, it can feel very clunky until we do, right? We're just not aligned with the right energy, and you'll feel it, okay? Act on those nudges immediately, and it will be much more simple, okay? Because transformation is truly meant to be beautiful, not just painful. But within transformation is death. Within death is rebirth, okay? But it's meant to be beautiful, right? So the choice is yours for which energy you want to focus on. The fear, because this is a leap. It's a leap of faith for you, okay? It's going to be a leap of faith for you. You're being forced out of the stagnation a little bit, which means it's been trying to end for a minute. But you've been hesitant out of fear. That's what it stems from. It's time for you, my dear. This is why they want you to listen, to go deep within your heart, not your head. Go deep within your heart and ask what those dreams are for you. Because it's time to make them real. Okay? And when I say that, that means co-creation will help you. Okay? It's time to make your dreams a reality. We have to be heart-centered right now, and something you're doing is not heart-centered. But it's like we had to go into this time to allow everything to integrate, right? But now it's time to come out. So you need to go in your heart, ask it what it wants, but be real with it. Don't lie to yourself. Don't lie to yourself out of fear of others. Because it's time to make those dreams real. And my darling, there is always enough. There is always enough in the universe. There is always enough. It's like in my spiritual world, there's always enough people that need our light, right? That's why we should never have to fight each other. Never be envious of one another. There's always enough. There's always enough of abundance in the universe for every soul and then some. There's always enough. The only lack is within us. But you have to set healthy boundaries. So your boundaries are not at a healthy state. Okay? You are going through this transformation. You're being forced into it a little bit because it's out of your comfort zone. And it's going to continue to be because something is dying in order for something else to be reborn. And if you don't come from your heart, it will feel ugly because it's time to make your dreams real. These are the heart-centered dreams, not the dreams others want for us. And it doesn't matter. Money cannot be the focus. Money is a byproduct of joy or the rat race work, but that's controlled money. It's not free money. It's not abundant money. There's a difference. There's a difference between what vibrational frequency you tune into within money, and it will respond in that vibrational frequency in return. Okay? Does that mean that you can't work? You have to work. It just depends on what you're willing to work for. What are you willing to work for? Your dreams or somebody else's expectations? Where are those boundaries? Okay? Oh, my darling, this transformation is big. I keep saying, oh, my darling, oh, my darling, oh, my darling Clementine. Oh, I love that. Just saying, and do you relate to that song? Why did that song come up? But she says it's been exactly 1 year since she began as a student in my academy, and she feels it's finally time for her to step out of her comfort zone and make her dreams happen. Can I get an amen? Can I get an amen? Right? Once you go light, you can't go back. That's not true. But it's funny. I thought it was funny. I'm being a little silly. What can I say? I thought that was a beautiful message. Beautiful. Okay. All right. So now we have Gigi. Different deck for Gigi. Okay. All right. Wait, am I right? Right. Oh, man. Yeah. And what is that song just sent that is relevant? Oh, my darling. Oh, my darling. Oh, my darling Clementine. Sorry if I can't sing right now. I didn't put my singing pipes in. I need water. And I'm singing an old song out of tune. Oh, my. All right. Oh, I don't care. That was a beautiful message. I love it. I do. I think the messages tonight have all been very powerful, very beautiful, and very relevant. All right. All right. GG, are you still with me? Let me get a sip of water. Hopefully I get a yes, I am. Just making sure nothing else came through that I needed to see. I don't know what it is. I don't go anywhere. This is my room. I'm very clean. But whenever I do messages with the cards, I feel like I need to wash my hands like 10 times. Sweet, she's ready. All right, let me get a sip. I was like, okay. Pardon me. Apparently, I needed to chug that water. Wait till you guys see my new stuff I've been making too. Ooh. Oh, my darling. Oh, my darling. Oh, my darling Clementine. I think that's the Clementine. I don't know why that's coming up. Okay, I think maybe because I was calling you my darling. I don't know. Listen to it, see if it has any relevance. Whoa! GG. Whoa! They are coming out flying. Again, too, I hear like you're being forced out of stagnation also. I feel like a lot of people are, in truth, that are ascension related, right? Especially if we do my stuff. Like, we are on like a track, let me tell you. So you're also being forced out of stagnation, and like, it's difficult. It's a difficult process. It's a difficult time because you're also grieving. I can't deny that within your energy at all. It's just grieving. So yeah, we know this though. We talked about that. It's time. So I'm hearing the song, we're going through changes. We're going through changes. I like the Charles Barkley version of it, right? I think I have that right. Changes. He does it a little differently. I really like that version of it. I listen to it a lot. Spirit gave me that song. And so I'm kind of also getting the message, Gigi, of pay attention to the music that comes in your head. So I do feel like when the angels would come to me and bring me music, I feel like they've been doing that with you. But there's been a couple that you didn't put it together. It's like you're kind of really engulfed in what's going on right now, rightfully so. And so they were kind of missed. And so they're just simply validating those for you. And to validate the fact that that is how they are bringing messages through for you is through song at times. Not every time, because they don't only communicate in one way, but they are communicating through song at this time. Those songs were relevant and they were for you. Okay, so it's a bit of a validation right there for you for sure. Come on. And then I just got another song. So we're going through changes, and then I got another one. What is this one? Gladys Knight, maybe? Looking out on the morning rain. Wow, makes me feel so I don't know if I have this right. Uninvited. Because you make me feel like a natural woman. So that's the song. Because you make me feel. You make me feel. So when you put those songs together, we're going through changes. And then you make me feel like a natural woman. Again, this is kind of the same thing with you, is you've got to get to a place of heart-centeredness. But Gigi, I've told you this before, is you're supposed to be of service. And you're feeling that pull, and it doesn't feel so good. So it's almost like you feel like a bit lost because of it. Like I feel this pull within my solar plexus, within my gut. It's like there's just something feels off in my gut. And that's what that has to do with. Okay, you're supposed to be of service and reaching for the stars. And it's never too late to do so. Because it truly is about shining your light and expressing your joy, even sometimes in our darkest hours. It's about doing what makes us feel like our natural woman. Okay? Not like I'm suppressed, almost like I need to go naked running through the woods and screaming to the moon, even though I don't recommend that. That's a little bit silliness. But that's the feeling I'm getting. Like I need to allow myself to be naked. I need to allow myself to be free. I need to allow myself to be vulnerable. And I need to allow myself to be authentically me. And I'm out of balance because I'm not giving back. And it leaves this emptiness within my soul, within the depths of my heart and my being, that I know that I need to be doing something and I can't quite put my finger on. But in truth, it's right there in front of me. All I need to do is do it. Once I do, it's going to be magnificent and miraculous. And by me healing others, I will heal me too. By me channeling spirit for others, I will feel spirit within me again too. Because I am a healer, and I am a natural born, authentic, beautiful goddess and a woman. And you will hear me roar. I'm not afraid to shine that light. I'm not afraid to speak my truth, and I am not afraid to change the world by healing you. I feel like I just channeled your soul and what needed to come out to the surface. And I'm almost like, you make me feel like I am like coming out of my shell, and I'm like ready to shout to the mountains, and I'm feeling completely empowered now, and I just woke you up. And on that note, holy hell, that was beautiful, Gigi. Wow. Wow. Go Gladys Knight, that bitch. That was awesome. You know what I'm saying? That was awesome, Gigi. You got me empowered now. I totally feel powered. Yeah, that was beautiful. Wow. I love you guys. I hope you enjoyed these messages. And I surely hope you guys all join me on my workshops coming this weekend and the next weekend. Their courses, their ascension, their everything. Oh, Gigi, my heart is filling up with love and I am crying, she says. That was your soul coming through me, sweetheart. That was powerful. There is something powerful in you, and you need to run it naked through that forest, but please don't really do that. I don't recommend that. No, we can do it in our mind's eye. We can connect with the earth that way. Oh, I love you. That's beautiful, you guys. You're so welcome. Thank you for joining me today. Thank you for watching this video. If you resonate with any of the messages, even the ones I gave to them, and they resonate with you, they're absolutely unequivocally for you. The mental health aspect is very important for our ascension, but it's important for you anyways, right? Regardless. Yay! Raise the roof. I did it. You're so welcome, you guys. Now go shine your light, reach for the stars, and Gladys Knight that bitch. I think that's who it was, right? So much love, you guys. I love you lots. I'm going to go get creative now and dance naked in the forest. I got a little bit more working out to do. I'm starting to lose that weight, but we got a little more to go before I do that. Thanks, guys. I love you so much, and I will see you again very soon. Stay safe, stay diligent, and gain that mental power, because that is our key, that is our tool, that is our birthright. So much love to all of you. Stay in the light. Until next time, I'll see you later. Bye-bye. Love to you all.